Papa Kwesi Endo. This is the program we call Ghana Great and Strong, an hour-long program produced by Hejole, online radio, Ghana's premier internet-based radio station. But tonight we are in Itre, Elmina, in the studios of the most popular radio station in the central region, Ahunka 99.5. Ghana Great and Strong is the only such program that is not partisan politics focused. We like objectivity. We like to deal with facts, statistics. Even as we express our opinions and have expert analysis, we strive and we work hard to be objective, because what we want to do is what will strengthen our country, Ghana, and make its people prosperous. That is what Ghana Great and Strong is all about. And tonight we will continue our discussion on 2015 and the challenges that we believe will face our country this year 2015. So those challenges that we're likely to face: environmental difficulties, preventable diseases, malaria, dysentery, cholera, and so on and so forth. Challenges in the areas of education, energy, both fuel and power, or petroleum and power, currency depreciation, the private and public debts, the cost of living, and so on and so forth. And over the past 2 weeks, we've explained why such a concentration, why the focus on these challenges. And I've explained it very simply, that this year, 2015, is the year, obviously, before 2016. The significance of it is that in 2016, into that election year, and we promptly we forget about most of them, and particularly when it has to do with the economy, it has to do with our standard of living. If you look at the year 1999, the difficulties that the currency went through, the difficulties that we went through with interest rates, all sorts of other things, those difficulties all came with us to the year 2000. And the situation did get worse. And then when we get into the election year, the problems that we go through, or the mess that we create, particularly the mess that we create that has to do with the economy, that has to do with government accounts, that we create in election years, that also follows us. Just as the deficits that were left in the year 2012, the funds that were used for campaign, all of those difficulties, we all know what has been happening since 2012. We've had problems, government coffers have dried up. We have many difficulties. So it is important that we continue to shed light on the potential challenges that we'll be facing in 2015, just so that perhaps somebody who has something to do with solving problems, as far as government is concerned, that anybody who has any opportunity to help us solve our difficulties, so that they might listen and do something positive to help move these challenges away or solve. But tonight, we don't just want to talk about these problems. I would like for us to figure out if there's any way that we can solve some or all of them. So we'll tackle as many of them as we can. To help me do this are two people who I believe can help in many different ways. We have a political economy lecturer from the University of Cape Coast, Mr. John Wendy Ansa. Then we have Mr. Andrew Sefa, who is an investment banker, for them to assist us in the discussions that we'll go through this evening. So we will try to shine light on solutions, what we can do to remove the anticipated challenges from our plate. And we want you to participate in this program tonight. The number to send your text messages, WhatsApp messages, 0265 275500. That number again for the text messages is 0265 275500. Again, it's 0265 275500. I have a question. What is your opinion about separating the Office of Attorney General from the Ministry of Justice as one response to the challenge of corruption? What would an independent prosecutor do to help us find a way to deal with this corruption difficulty, challenge, problem that we have in this country? We'll go and take a message, and we want people to know that the main sponsor for Ghana Great and Strong is a company that is quietly helping solve the infrastructure problem in this country. That is the Ghana Growth Fund. And Ghana Growth Fund that is also quietly investing in new companies, existing companies, and therefore creating jobs in Ghana. And GN Bank, that used to be called First National. But of course, there's one element, something that GN Bank wants everybody to know. That of all the universal banks, the more than 20 universal banks in this country, only one of them, GN Bank, offers a wonderful savings program. GN Bank offers you 9% interest on your regular savings account, 9% interest, higher than all the other universal banks. But in addition to the 9%, GN Bank gives every savings account holder a 1,000 Ghana cedi life insurance cover to every savings account holder. And this has been started since January 1st. Tonight, we are continuing our discussion on the challenges that we will face in 2015. And tonight also, we're going to try to talk about some of the solutions or potential solutions. And I have in the studio with me Mr. John Wendy Ansa from the University of Cape Coast and Mr. Andrew Sefa from Gold Coast Fund Management. I want to talk about energy, but let's begin. We'll get to energy, but let's begin. Mr. Ansa, corruption, we've talked about corruption several times. And this matter about separating the Office of Attorney General from that of the Ministry of Justice. what is your opinion? Is this going to help? And then even much more so, based on how you see what is happening in Ghana, is it likely? Is it likely that this can become a reality in Ghana?
It's difficult and risky here because, come to think of it, at this point when the Minister of Justice and Attorney General, who is supposed to act as the prosecutor here, is appointed by the President, he finds out that there is somebody who has also been appointed by the President who is doing something wrong. The question is that, as I say, the possibility of conflict of interest comes in here because here he's asking himself, do I prosecute this person for my party to become dented, the image of my party to become dented, or I look at certain principles and deal with this person? That conflict of interest becomes very, very obvious. And most often, what we have observed in this country, I think sometimes realities must help us, the cases must help us to establish what way forward we need to go. Experiences we have had in this country suggest that most often the Minister of Justice and Attorney General usually toe the line where these executives who assembly members who are found to be doing something corrupt are usually protected. And that is where you could see that then there is no sanction for corruption, and that serves as the foundation for who people continue to corrupt.
Mr. Ansah, you were talking about the separation of the Office of Attorney General from that of the Ministry of Justice. My question to you is, can we hope, is there any hope that we change this situation, that the separation can occur or will occur? What is your perspective on this?
The notion of statehood in current times, of course, from a purely political perspective, has moved from the whole idea of describing just the geographical entity to, looking at actors, and these actors have their own, subjective orientations towards the decisions they take. They have their own personal idiosyncrasies, and we also have certain objectives we want to see. Sometimes these objectives might contradict with the collective decisions of the citizenry. Here we are talking about selfish interests. Now, you ask whether there is hope. As it stands now, well, and ultimately we definitely tell you that there is hope, and of course it will depend largely on the kind of political actor who has used power.
No, but right now, there's reality. Don't give me given the way we are today.
So the moving from the ideal situation to the reality. I would say that as it stands now, the hope is very, very blurred.
The hope is very,
very, very blurred.
So let me use ordinary English. You're what is your take on this? Is this separation, is it worthwhile? And can it happen?
No, thank you. I was my brother saying that there is no hope. There should be hope. We are talking about separating the Attorney General from the Ministry of Justice in order to fight corruption. We live in a country where corruption is a big, and I would say the biggest enemy to our progress as a nation. And we need to have an independent prosecutor in order to fight this enemy of corruption. I'll ask, you are a teacher. How can one person write exams and mark himself or himself? You study, you set exams questions for yourself, you write and you mark. When you go wrong, will you be able to say that I've gone wrong? No. You understand? We've had different governments day in, day out with their commitment of fighting corruption. But the only way you can have that commitment to fight corruption is to separate these two big issues, have different Attorney General and the Ministry of Justice so that they do their work, or they have the power to do their work. They have the power to do their work. We live in a country where you said there is no hope. you said there is no hope. We have power given to the president. The president of this country has enough power, the overall power, to decide to make this thing happen. The hope you are saying we don't have, our president can make it happen. So any president who comes,
you're saying the president can make it happen.
yes,
Can or will this president, we still have 2 more years, we've got the rest of 2015, we have 2016, will this president, can this president make the separation happen?
if he will do it, whether he will do it or not, is the responsibility of Ghanaians to push for that. We should tell him we need it. We should tell the president, and it will be the greatest favor or the legacy the president will leave behind for making this thing happen.
Okay, let me just, every now and then somebody gives me a call and says, you are talking too much English. So explain to us in some local language what is it that you're talking about. It's I worship him, I will see him. You can show us some year can see Sian. You shall see the Abba in Zama. To what queen. What the Queen Obama in Puntuni on Kayakasi. Fear you mean the Mafia 2015. You can't carry this if the Mafia Arma. And your opportunity is seen. What to say and campaign and you do not see and one of our over here. I think yes, sir. And I say, I did your holding. You can't carry his person or holding the Mafia say, I'm sure you need to know. Oh no. How no obey simple I do for now order I do hold him or a name or hold the mafia or Kodasu or hold him by main only catastrophe in a boy that will fulfill corruption. No, and a year command some to come to tell what happened. You could be a friend, Attorney General. Office of Attorney General. No office of Holy. I go in a was so one true be now so you know quarter. Now, what church or no cartel no course. The so and now, Obia, you know, what the Minister of Justice. For home sooner than you come so. It says the make money again that woman. Minister of Justice, on any Attorney General. On the ABC young day. Say, to be on the Minister of Justice who are been among the year kind of party. And say, coffee, and now okay, catastrophe in a corridor. And at the million per now, all can't round and now over two. No, I should watch now, so why Jinis can and now in Apple Court, when you are going to fear that Obutma. Only you will be here today. I'm going to the main again, young Shamon Yagi, Mammy and Farmer in Pocket. Today, young far Attorney General, you are new farmer or ja. Oh no, among you some professor or independent. On your idea, among the way you no, today, on several red, elbow blue, elbow gold. On say a pay a watch us on him, Pinarius, yes, on overboard. On Masana, here can be so that's what we're talking about. How we can separate the office of Attorney General from that of the Ministry of Justice. But I want to go back and give you both a chance. We'll tell our viewers, tell our listeners. Just pick one challenge you think you are going to face this year and what you suggest. It can be about environment, it can be about the economy, it can be about IMF, it can be about our currency, it can be about interest rates, education, energy, any one. Which one? Begin with you, Mr.
Okay. Thank you very much. strongly that sometimes it's very, very difficult to isolate one of these, key developmental challenges we have, because and then think of how to address them, because development is extremely holistic. You pick one and you realize that it has its organic connection with other elements. Now, if I'm pushed to the wall, to look at which of these constitute a very critical challenge to us as it stands to this year or today. The economy is very, very critical, and the most, the two important areas about the economy that I think should present to us very key challenges include energy and then industrialization. Industrialization, I'm talking about improving the manufacturing sector, and of course it will have its own ripple effect on the service and then other sectors, particularly with regard to agriculture. So for me, I would want to look at the economy from a very, very purely holistic perspective. Now we've seen the implications of the excessive importation on our economy. Talking about the fact that the city continues to depreciate because we continue to import. Talking about the fact that the industrial setup itself is not able to expand to an extent where they can generate employment. As it stands now, the formal sector is only able to absorb 2% of the working population, leaving many of the Ghanaians to move into the informal sector, which is very, very risky to us because it has implications for revenue mobilization and what have you. Now, going forward, I think that there should be a clear-cut national agenda on industrialization. Having a very limited, or let me say, periodic time span. In this regard, at least it serves as a reference point for which you can judge what or where the country will want to go and where the country might have achieved after the time span has elapsed. Where do we focus attention on? I think that where we need to focus attention on must be in the first place considered with regard to what Ghanaians usually are seen to be consuming. Food, that is key. As it stands now, 1.5 billion is spent or was spent the previous year to import food. And if you care to know, this is more than half of the average amount of money that African countries spent last year on food importation. Telling you that Ghana has moved beyond the level which you can call serious. And I think it is very, very critical here. So, with regard to the economy, I think the agricultural sector should be given much attention. Farmers should be given much support in terms of agricultural input, in terms of equipment, and a couple of other things which should boost food production. And then I think as you have said, manufacturing sector should also be given much attention, and make sure that the service sector, for example, especially the banking and the insurance industry, is given enough support to help the manufacturing, because the banking sector is supposed to have one way or the other serve as the source of financial support for these manufacturing sectors.
So if I get you right, if you say that one area of challenge is industrialization, and it's industrialization because we are not able to produce the food, and here you're not just talking about the raw food, but that we are importing processed agricultural products. So whether it's milk that we're drinking, tomatoes, whatever. Industrialization in general, we're talking about, but the importation of food. Now, as soon as you mention the $1.5 billion and so on and so forth, then it brings with it the related challenge of the need for foreign exchange, because we're importing. To
we're not importing overseas. We need foreign currency, and which then puts pressure on our city. Okay, and so and then all manner of other problems come. I'll come to you, Mr. Sifa and Andrew, but then there are a couple of text messages. Storm G from Wampi says, good evening, your program is good, continue educating us. Anthony from Takrady says, it is difficult for government to separate the Attorney General's department from the Ministry of Justice because most government bodies will have their heads rolling. Dr. Edipoku from the University of Cape Coast says, Doc, have you heard the majority leader have been battling, also calling for the separation of the Attorney General's department from the Ministry of Justice? They all know what is good for our development. So, if they all know, and some of us have been shouting this over and over and over again, and we'll continue to shout this and talk about it and try and bring this to people's attention. But if they know, that other people know that it is good, the question still remains, why is it? Why is it that we are not making this happen? And let me let people know, this matter is one of those ones that's embedded in the Constitution. So the president can't just get up and say, I've separated those two offices. It is a matter in the Constitution, so it requires a constitutional amendment. And to amend the Constitution, it is a responsibility of Parliament to do so. So if our members of Parliament so wish, they can go to Parliament, they can initiate the process. So this is just in
that's why it's difficult to see the hope.
That's why it's difficult.
Yes, exactly, yeah, because these are the actors. Citizens can call.
Yeah.
They can the members of Parliament can institute the amendment. But then the question is if they know, put it into practice. Let us see.
Well,
the reality.
but the actors there. Sometimes we assume that they know.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we assume that they are well educated or well informed. Mm-hmm. But I'll give you an example. A few years ago, when some of us started to talk about free compulsory education from kindergarten to senior high school, many people couldn't be bothered.
Yeah.
They weren't interested. But then gradually, it is changing. Not only did one political party pick it up to make it a slogan for the last election, now the president is also talking about free education. What is left is the compulsory aspect for other people to also jump on the bandwagon. So the point is that the more we talk about it, the more people get to understand that, hey, this is an important matter. This is something people believe in or are interested in. So we'll keep talking about it. We'll keep discussing it, and then hopefully it will become something that other people might be interested in. So let me come to you, Mr. Andrew Sifat. You pick a challenge that you think we might face in 2015, and what you think we can do about it.
Look, the challenges, we've started facing it. 2015 is very young. We've just moved 1 month and at least 6 days. But if you walk in the streets of Ghana, everywhere, and you ask of one challenge that everyone is going through, as my brother said, is the energy. Energy everywhere, and how it's affecting us. People have suffered so much in bringing their businesses to a level that they are now. We live in a country where everyone is promoting made in Ghana goods. People are producing goods, but if we are being given light or energy for 12 hours and going off for 24 hours, then where are we heading towards? So the energy issue is an issue I think government or the appropriate authorities should make it a priority, number one priority, and find a lasting solutions to it once and for all. Because
Okay, so you have identified that as a challenge, not that we will face, but
We
one
are
that
already
we are
facing it.
facing.
And
Okay,
we
so
are-
so
we
what
are-
do
we
you
are-
think? What do you think we should do?
what I think
solve
we should do
that
to solve
that
this
problem.
issue is that the various ministries that they've set up. Now we have Ministry of Energy and Ministry of Power.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they've been given a mandate. I don't really know what job description they've given the two.
Mm-hmm.
They should team up. They should team up and come out with a plan and tell us the truth. If Ghanaians, for the past 1 year, we are going to face this difficulty, bear with us so that we find a lasting solutions. If it's about additional power generation, you go to the village and you tell my mother in the village generating additional megawatts, and he wouldn't understand you. But explain to them, this is a problem we are facing. Within the next 1 year, we will go through it. We will generate this additional power within this period of time so that everybody will have the patience and prepare for it. Rather than letting us know that in the next 3 months, Dumso will be over and we wake up to see that it's worsening.
You know, you didn't say Mpaibo.
And
When the president,
there is a saying
you know,
that
the
God
president
help
went.
those who help themselves. Empaibo is good, but Empaibo nye bibia.
But you know,
And
at
to me, shut them on
the December 31st, president was praying hard for whatever the demons are that are holding on to the energy solutions.
Look, we are all
to-
Christians. We
to
all believe in God.
get
but
hands
if
off.
we sit back and think that Empaibo will help us, then we are deceiving ourselves. We
I
need real
actually
actions.
I would like for them to find Guru for me, Guru, and play Mpaibo for me, and then I'll tell you a reason
No.
why.
Workers are being laid off.
Let me give you a reason
Families
why
are
I
separating
want.
because people can't
this.
feed their family.
Let me throw a little bit more on this matter. This past week, on this ECG issue, and then this is the week that ECG has now come up with a load shedding schedule.
Timetable.
Okay, but not only that, this is also the week that VRA has come up to say the third turbine will go out of production.
Yeah.
So three out of 6 gone. 50% of the production capacity gone. Now, before we get to Guru, before we get to that one, Mr. Ameto Kwame of NHIS, he of NHIS, this is what he had to say. He says the whole power problem hinges on our technocrats, those who operate and run these equipment. Government can only act in a certain manner from the information that is fed to it by those who run this equipment. And he said it was wrong for people to accuse government of ineptitude or lack of ability to think beyond the box and provide solutions to the power problems. Now, when I hear someone that we are paying with our tax money at a place like NHIS say something like this to me, then the only answer I come up with is Yenyam Paibo. But I'll give you another one. There's a young man who sometimes talks. He talks for the ruling party. His name is Samuel George Netty, and he also on the media this week he says there is no justification for the ongoing load shedding exercise under the Mahama-led administration, and he says that this thing has gone on, and said that but President Mahama cannot be blamed. He said this energy crisis, Dumso, is a result of collective inaction by successive governments. Can you imagine? He says that in 18 months, Dumso will be a thing of the past. Now, when I hear this, I also then just say, We're continuing the discussion on 2015, the challenges that we will face, some of the solutions that we can implement. I'd given you the text the line 026 527 5500. You can now call us on 054 1844 500. The number again 0541 844 500 or 026 533 6706. Jojo from Dansuman says, if people do not consult, that is what happens to them, especially when they are in government. I was amazed when I heard Dr. Indom in one of his popular lectures say that he has never been consulted on the single spine pay policy since he left office as minister, and that's the truth. And Nanajua from the Lecturers Village in the University of Cape Coast says, Doc, seriously speaking, this government has not shown commitment in the energy sector. They are clueless and must come she says they must come to people like me for solutions. Let me come back to you, Mr. Ansah. Energy. What can we do? Is there anything that we can do? This is 2015, and we are shedding, and we are in darkness, and before we can watch the Africa Cup, we have to go and buy power from Cote d'Ivoire. What must we do?
Being made, one of the key symptoms that have been discovered is about the fact that VRA is owing. Some months back it used to be 300 million US dollars. Information now suggests that it appears to have been doubled. But for me, when
they need money.
Exactly.
They need money to invest.
Yeah, exactly. And of course to purchase crude oil and other things. Now when you hear of such amounts of money, and you look at certain amounts of money which have also been used, much of which have gone drained, then we tend to ask ourselves, where are our priorities? I think the first thing we need to do is to check on our spending. Look at
spending as a nation, or
exactly,
spending as VRA.
Nation. Yeah, as a nation, and then find ways of making sure that VRA, as an entity, is well supported with the appropriate staff. Yes, we are fine. We are all Christians. We all believe in Bible and all those things. But I think at a certain point in time, we need to be very, very pragmatic. The principle is hire and fire. Once as a state, once we put in this amount of money and we realize that these technocrats who are there are not doing what it takes to do what they are supposed to do, then we need to hire and fire.
Let me go to our phone lines. Hello. 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 Good evening. Hello. Good evening. It doesn't look as if our caller is on the line. The number again is 0541 844 500. Mr. Sifa, Mr. Ansah says VRA is owing. They need money, but also that the people that we've applied in this energy sector might not all be the right people. We must be willing to fire. We must be willing to remove people who don't perform, so we can get what we need.
Yeah, look, Ghana is pregnant with a lot of sicknesses for which energy is part of. But the only way that we can stop all these sort of sicknesses and solve our energy problem is to stop corruption. As my brother said, if you stop corruption, we will have enough money to generate power and then just link every village to the national grid. And the only way we can do this is one. What people have been fighting, people have been talking about, to separate the Ministry of Justice from Attorney General, period.
Okay, so we're talking energy. We've talked about industrialization, particularly in the area of food or what we eat, and then we've talked about corruption and the problems that corruption comes up with. Let me. Hello.
Hello?
Yes. Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead and make your contribution.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. You might want to turn down the volume on either your radio or your TV.
Hello?
Yes, okay, now we can hear you. Please go ahead. I'm listening.
But your uncle didn't know. Oh, why? You say program no, I'm working on it. Yeah, so good, eh? Hello?
Me say, Kodo, me say.
Aye, Commandant no, yeah, Uncle didn't know. I had that band will be the baby night. I look at Passage, your into Mona Manam Dansano.
Okay. Well, the caller is talking about something completely different. So we'll continue. We'll continue. I think we may have. Hello. No, that one is gone. Let me come back to the same issue. Somebody says because of energy, students are not studying, and that we might have poor results this year. Mr. Ansah, you are at the university. Is this a reality? Is this a reality?
Yes, it is a stark reality. We've had instances where students are, I remember last semester when we were having our last lecture, when I think around.
Okay, let me just go to the
Hello.
phone line. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, hello. Good evening. I think about him. Okay. Oh yeah, me that's it. Ma ono so or kanye de VR nche o ya kede o se de yemfa ma ankra nkrofo mo won hwe VR do na aban za won kofo di wa ye no di za agor. He's talking about privatizing VRA. We have another caller on the line. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Hello.
Yes, hello, I can hear you. Good evening.
Hello.
Yes, hello, I can hear you. I don't think we can follow through with this call. So, the point once again that I would like to just with the little time that we have left, just deal with this education issue. You see, someone was saying that when we had energy problems in 1998, we ended up having very poor results, BC, university, and so on and so forth. So this year, Mr. Ansah, you were talking about this matter.
Yeah, if these experiences are anything to go by, then what do we? But and of course, currently as it stands, as we are seeing, the university students are struggling. When the lights go off, I think I can single out. I stand for correction, but I can single out just one hall that has generator. All the other halls, when the lights are off, the students are not able to learn. In the lecture, some of the lecture theaters are not having standby generators. So when lectures are usually between 5:30, between 5:30 and 8:30, and the lights are off, students are not able to attend lectures. And most often come to think of it, whether sometimes whether we are able to attend lectures or not, they are still supposed to observe, the syllabus.
All right. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Good evening. Yes. Good evening. Let's hear you,
I
please.
am a Ghanaian who wants to contribute into the program which is ongoing at the moment.
Yes. Go ahead. We're listening.
On DT, my name is Alaji Fire.
Yes, Alaji. Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah. We are grateful to be hearing this program this night.
Okay. Okay.
Hello?
Yes. Hello. Thank you. I can hear you. Please continue.
Hello? We are grateful to be hearing this program this night.
We seem to be having many problems with the phone lines. Mr. Stefandru, you are in an industry.
Yeah.
Is this having a problem on your business? And then if you care to make a comment on the education side as well.
Yeah. On the education side, I would say that the university education even forms about a minute part of the whole educational structure. If you bring it down to the secondary education and then the primary and then the kindergarten downwards, that's where the effect is so serious. I think last week it was reported in the news that because of this doomsday issue, little children queue up and just lie down in front of banks just by the streets in order to do their homework. This should tell us the future of these children, where we are heading towards. So the university, at least they've gotten to a level. What about the little children who are now picking up with academics? So it's a serious issue. Coming back to industries, it's really affecting industries. Whatever, being in the service industry, manufacturing industry, those of us in the banking industry, it's really affecting us, our cost. Because if you are within the banking industry, a customer will not come and you tell the customer, your lights are off. I want to withdraw money and you tell me my light is off. I want to print bank statements and my light is off. You need to get a generator and you fuel it the whole day and work with it, which in the long run will affect your operational cost. So this thing is really...
Yes. I believe we've got a call on the line. Hello. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm okay. And yourself?
Yes, I'm okay.
Okay. So let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm Ali Dankata from Kumasi.
Yes, Ali.
Yes. Yes, I just want to, you see our industry, the way we are talking about the industry. You see, there are some issues maybe if maybe the government, the then government can consider to put it in line. I think the industries will be going smoothly. You see, especially about our electricity. You see, if this government will
Okay, unfortunately we've lost him, but what he was talking about still comes back to energy. That if you're going to have industry, you need power. Abigail Owusu from Bibiani says, what do we expect if a deputy minister who was shuffled from the energy ministry is now made the minister of power? Now he also promises to resign when the doomsaw persists after 2015. That's Abigail Owusu from Bibiani. And someone who says he's anonymous says, Doc, the president relies on expert advice and keeps making unfulfilled promises. What this means is that the people he has put in charge are people misleading him. So I agree with the UCC lecturer that people must be fired. Now, when we go through all of what we have discussed, does 2015 give you hope, Mr. Ansah?
I think the question has been asked again.
Does it give you hope? First, we were talking about hope on separation, separation of energy, of Attorney General's office from that of Ministry of Justice. Now, it's in general. How confident are you?
As I've said, my personal orientation, is evident in optimism. I am an optimist. I'm a clear optimist. but then of course I try to situate my optimism within certain contexts, right? What do I see now, and what do I project? For me, my hope is dependent on the existing political actors. And if these existing political actors do anything to show that yes, there is hope, I can say there is hope.
But so far, you are still watching.
Yes, I'm watching.
You're still watching.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Sifandru, is there hope?
There is this saying in a local, it's a "Igabebe Ifranopa." We all know that the year is very young, but there is hope. There is hope in the sense that the year is young, but those in authority should put things right and prioritize things. We should make sure that this is a priority and tackle it. Forget about political whatever whoever who says whether we will win power the next election or not. If you make a history, Ghana will be proud.
So you are both hedging your bets. Let's take 2 last phone calls and then we'll call it a day. Hello, good evening. We missed that one. We missed both of those calls. Well, let me just say that the past 3 weeks we've been talking about 2015. Hello. Yes, hello.
Yeah.
Yes, hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes. Please let's hear your comment.
Yeah, I want to be part of your conversation.
Yes, go ahead. We're listening. Yes, please go ahead. We are listening.
Yeah. What I want to say here is, what I want to say is, it's very simple. I want to ask you that the situation that we are in now is the situation above this very administration, or it has been a situation that nobody can solve, or people are there who can do exactly what we want, or it's only they are telling us a different thing or whatever. I don't know how to put it, but I want to know from you.
Okay.
Is there a situation that we can solve?
Well, let me just say to you very simply, the problems, the challenges that we're facing, we can solve them. We can solve them. And as many of you know, I have been an energy minister before. So I have faced these difficulties before. But we went through a process to make sure that all the actors and actresses involved all paid attention, and also that we concentrated attention on the right things. Anybody who says there is no plan in the energy sector or the power sector in Ghana doesn't know the truth. There are plans there. It's a matter of who is sitting there and how diligent and how diligent, how disciplined they are, and also how they are holding the people working in that sector to account. So quite simply, all I will say is the problems can be solved. There are many, many challenges that we're going to face in 2015. If we work well with the right people, with discipline, we can overcome many of the challenges. But I want to end this evening with what I said last week. And I'm still coming back to the IMF, that I do hope that as our government has decided that it's going to the IMF, it must make sure that it agrees with them on a program. And after it has agreed with them on a program, that it goes about implementing whatever conditions are put there diligently, seriously, and without regard to politics or anything else. Otherwise, the monies that are not coming, that our government says it needs, the credibility that it says it doesn't have, that this IMF program is going to give it, that those things will go away. And when that happens, you and I, we are going to face bigger problems getting to the end of this year, and definitely 2016 will not be an enjoyable year if that program doesn't go well. It won't be for Mahama, it won't be for anybody, it will not be for me. I want to thank my guests, Mr. John Wendy Ansah from the University of Cape Coast, Mr. Sefa Andrew from Gold Coast Fund Management, and I thank you for watching. I thank you for listening. This has been Ghana Great and Strong, and I have been your hosts, Papa Kwesi Indo.